Devils' frustrations continue on a Saturday night in Boston as they lose their 5th straight game by a score of 4-1. The Devils will try to find the winning ways on the road on Tuesday night against the Ottawa Senators. Chico, this was a different loss. A loss is still a loss. It doesn't matter. But this was a different loss from, say, the Dallas game. Yeah. Where they just didn't have much energy and lost 3-0. They were in this game. They were involved. They were really pushing the attack and pushing the pace, but they fall.
Absolutely, Matty. I know they scored the goal late in the first period, but the chances they had earlier, oh my. And I know you got some of them on the highlights, but I just can't believe the puck doesn't go in, but it hasn't.
No, it hasn't, and you're right. The Devils did press against Jeremy Swayman and company, and early on, almost. In the corner, it's Jonas Siegenthaler. Gets it up ahead to Andre Palat. He'll clear it to center ice. Knocked down there. Then a pass deflects off a Bruin player. Here's Brett with a chance. And he just has it deflected by the barest amount by Jeremy Swayman. Just got a little bit of the glove on it. But just enough. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of been the Devils' offensive woes. You could describe it. The other team, just enough. Just reaching across. Just enough of the post or the crossbar. Just enough of the glove in that case.
Yeah, it's just enough for one side and just not enough for the Devils.
And so, early on, it's scoreless. Connor Brown, he announced his intentions early on, and he almost got the Devils on the board. Here's a chance for Brown. He's in deep, rolls one through the crease, and it's clear to the far wall.
Oh, my.
Yeah, oh, my. I don't know if he was looking for a teammate or a deflection, or he hoped that he would be able to carry it through and put it in himself, but it was there. It was lying there in that blue paint.
Oh, I know, Matty, and you're just hoping that the stick that comes into play is in the hands of a New Jersey Devil, but it wasn't.
No, and so it is still scoreless. Boston had a chance as they rang one off the crossbar. Their defenseman, Victor Soderstrom had the shot that went off the crossbar. So it was scoreless late, and you say to yourself, all right, Devils had a good period. They outshot them 12-5. Get out of the period.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe score. Yep, late. But at least get out of the period and build on that momentum. But wouldn't you know it, it was Boston who struck first. Kastelik in the right wing corner. Tries to get it in front. Blocked by Nemitz, who takes it back to Kastelik, and he finds a man in front, and it's 1-0. Oh, baby, it looked like the Devils were going to get out of that with Nemitz making a nice play, but instead, it's Fraser Minten making it 1-0. I was shocked. You could tell. I thought the Devils had the puck. Nemitz had to be more shocked. Credit Kastelik with the steal.
Yeah, it was a steal. And then there's a gorgeous pass and a terrific finish by Minten. And you know what it is? Like, it was shocking because we have the puck. We look, okay, we're going to get out of trouble. You're not expecting the puck to go into the Devils' net, but 2 quick passes and a brilliant shot, and it was in there.
The goal came at 17:42. Fraser Minten's 4th of the year. Mark Kastelik with his 5th assist, and Tanner Jeannot was credited with the secondary assist, his 9th of the year. And you thought, okay, well, now you can't collapse. You got to get out of the game. And the period 1-0. Well, the Devils had other ideas, and yeah, here they are. They snapped that drought. The Devils win the draw. Luke Hughes' shot is blocked. Comes back to Luke with a drive off a stick. It's Luke. They score! He sure got a piece. Meyer found it. Great response by the Devils. We are tied at 1. The goal comes 57 seconds after they trail. They didn't hang their head. They put all their eggs in one basket. And they scored their first goal in 146 minutes and 48 seconds, the 9th longest drought in Devils history. But they tied it up on Meyer's 11th goal of the season.
Yeah, and I could tell in your voice you were very excited. You hadn't called a goal, but actually you had. The last game, Myers had scored one, but they called that one back. But this one, Matty knew, we all knew it was going to be a one that really counted. And it just seemed so perfect to get it late in the first period. And that's just going to give them all kinds of energy to start that second.
Yeah, indeed. And the Devils again out shooting Boston 12-5 in the first period. But You know, the big story, one of the big stories for Boston this year is the continued emergence of Connor Geekie, particularly in the absence of David Pastrnak, who missed his 5th straight game. And early in the second period, it was Geekie who gave Boston a lead they would not relinquish. Boston has it behind the net. Here's a drive off the stick. Lindholm got a piece in front, it went wide. He gets it back, hands it off, they score. Oh, wow, I thought the Devils had a break, but it's Boston which keeps pressing, and they lead 2-1. Mistake by Brendan Dillon, turnover, and then Geekie getting a quick pass that slid underneath the stick of Luke Hughes, and Geekie wasn't going to make a mistake.
No, he hasn't made many of them, has he, Matty? When he sees net and he's in a position to finish the playoff with a goal, he's done it, 32 times, and he buried that one tonight.
He'll get to 32, I think. But that was 22. But that's enough so far for Boston.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, what am I thinking? I mean, Geekie, he's not 32, he's 22.
Yeah, but he might get to 30.
Well,
he might get to 52 the way he's going.
Yeah,
that's for
true.
sure. The goal at 1:12. Lindholm, the assist. They had given a secondary assist, but they pulled that away. And so it was 2-1. Boston had the lead. We move further along in the second period. And, I thought Dougie Hamilton was going to tie it up. Now on to Meyer, right wing side. Looks around, floats one for Mercer, goes off his stick and wide. Dawson picks it up behind the net, winds it to the far point. Siegenthaler, now to Hamilton. He moves in, looks around, he rings one off the post. Oh, you thought you saw a goal coming. So did Dougie. Yeah.
He did.
I did. He did.
Yeah, he's shooting the biscuit. And you know why you get excited? From the blue line where he's stationed, you see open ice. He's going to go into almost the dot. And a shot. So we all thought, yeah, this is going in, and it was within an inch.
Yeah, now Dougie almost had the offensive play of the night to tie it up, but he did make a pretty good defensive play on the other end, and here's how it unfolded. Now for Mercer at the hash mark's far side. Drifts out a little farther, looking for some room. Stick handles along the blue line. Now with the wrister, hits Siegenthaler. It rolls free. Hamilton tries to control. It's poked ahead. Race on at center ice. Middlestat with it. He'll move in. And coming back is Dougie Hamilton to lift his stick. No shot on goal. Terrific play.
It was. It was a goal-saving play, perhaps, and you think, well, that's going to be a difference maker.
Nikita Zadorov hit a crossbar. Jonas Siegenthaler hit a post for the Devils. And we go into the third period, Boston leading 2-1, and it stayed that way for quite some time. Connor Brown trying to be a difference maker. Palat now across the line, puts the puck through the legs of Vaspero. Indeed goes cross-ice. Oh, what a save by Swayman on Brown. We'll hear from Connor Brown in just a moment. But Geekie not only scored, but he makes some defensive plays too.
Yeah, he got a stick there on the back check. And, you could see if the puck is moved laterally, and the goalie has been on the other side, he's got to move, and the player's going to get the puck, we get pretty excited because we think this is going in. That was the situation, but Geekie got a stick in there, and actually Brown shot the puck, but he actually shot the stick. And then he also got the puck, but Swayman, his best save of the night.
And we will call that the play of the game. Brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. It's 2-1, Boston with the lead, Devils pressing, but then on a counterattack, it turned out to be a back-breaking goal. 2-1 Boston in front, 3:48 to go. There's still time. The Devils have not yielded easily, but they got to get something. Here's Arvidsson across the line, has some room, gives it to Zacha, goes cross-ice. They score. Well, the last thing you wanted was that. The Devils needed something. Boston got it. Casey Middlestat with the goal. It's 3-1. Yeah, just when you said, all right, Devils are going to get something, maybe they will, but the answer was no, and it was Middlestat from Zacha and Arvidsson at 16:25, and that essentially ended the game.
Yeah, and that was a goal off the rush, and we hadn't seen the Devils give up many. Now, of course, they're trying to get a goal, but I thought, Arvidsson, he's going to shoot. No. Zacha, he's down low. He's got a great chance. No. And then I think that surprised the Devils' defense. And then the cross-ice pass, and Middlestad had the whole net, and he just buried it.
And they would add an empty netter at 17:46. Andrew Peak with the goal. The final score, 4-1. After the game, this is what Connor Brown had to say.
Brownie, you play like that as a team on most nights. You would expect maybe the result to go a different way. I know it's tough to say you guys played well, didn't get the results, but where do you sort of gauge where you guys are with this game tonight?
Yeah, I think over the last little stretch we've gotten away from the things that we do well and makes us successful. And tonight I thought we got back to it. I mean, I thought we didn't give them any space. We had our pace was up. We seemed like we really found our identity again. So obviously, we couldn't put enough away. The chances were there. So it's important for us to understand the longevity of the season and not get too low and really build off a performance like that, because I think that's their best game in the last bit for sure.
One of the things that Sheldon said last game was just when your opponent did score, there was sort of this letdown emotion that you didn't see tonight. And is that sort of the things that you're talking about there? Yeah,
absolutely. I think at our best we're one of the fastest teams in the league and a team that gives you no time and space. And for the most part, I mean, they're other than their last one, but their 2 goals. They came off breakdowns by us. They really didn't have any time and space. They didn't really sustain much, and we were right on top of them. We weren't backing out. We weren't playing conservative. We were attacking the game and giving them less time and space. So I think that's a recipe for success in a long season. And so the maturity of this group has to understand that and build off that.
When you say the maturity of this group has to, what are you sort of saying there in that?
It's easy.
Play like this.
Well, yeah, it's easy to leave here today and think we lost the game, and feeling down in the dumps. I think we did a lot to crawl ourselves out of a brand of hockey that was kind of not us, and that was a lot closer to our style of play. So. That's what I mean by that. Being a mature group in here, realizing that's even though we didn't get a win, definitely a step in the right direction as far as how we want to play and how we want the games to look. And and keeping in mind the longevity of the season. I mean, we got a lot of hockey to go. So and there's only a few points that separate teams. So. It can't get too high, can't get too low, but you got to learn from things like this, and that's a good step in the right direction, even though it didn't go our way.
What would you say the mood in the room is during this recent stretch?
Well, I think going into today, maybe we were forcing it a bit, and maybe we were skipping a lot of steps and kind of got away from our identity as a group. Today, I felt like we found our identity. We played to it, and I think we play like that on most nights. We're going to have a lot of success this year.
Connor Brown speaking with the media, speaking with our Amanda Stein. And, yeah, if they play like this, they should have more success. But right now they're in one of those things, one of those spots in a season as the losing goes to 5.
Yep, Matt. Well, just got to look ahead, right? Ottawa is coming up, and there's pressure, but not at least at home. I'm glad they got another road game to try to get this thing sorted out.
And that will be on Tuesday night. You'll be able to hear Sheldon Keefe's post-game news conference on NewJerseyDevils.com, on the app, and on the website as he talks about tonight's loss as the Devils see their overall record slip to 16-12-1 as they get ready for Ottawa, a game on Tuesday night that you'll hear on the Devils Hockey Network.